only at Ponderosa.
Thank you, Nashville, for making Channel 4 News #1.
Execution, a gruesome murder, a kidnapped American beheaded in Saudi Arabia, and now 4 of the terrorists reported killed too. Choosing Mr. Right. Time is running out. Who will John Kerry pick as a running mate? The names left on the short list now. The fleecing of America. Kids and computers. A promising program is hooking them up, but some say it's wired to waste your money. And Ray Charles. America! Family, friends, and the famous say goodbye.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. Substituting tonight, Campbell Brown.
Good evening. This is a significant and noteworthy day in the war on terrorism. A dark day to be sure, but also perhaps a turning point, at least in Saudi Arabia. Tonight, U.S. officials confirm American Paul Johnson, who was kidnapped in Saudi Arabia, has been beheaded by his captors, members of al-Qaeda. The terrorists today posted graphic pictures of Johnson on a militant Islamic website where the killers threatened to target other Americans. And late today, Saudi officials said they killed the terrorist behind the beheading. The top al-Qaeda leader in Saudi Arabia also killed 3 other terrorists. Earlier, President Bush condemned Johnson's killing, vowing America will not be intimidated.
The murder of Paul shows the evil nature of the enemy we face. These are barbaric people. There's no justification whatsoever for his murder. And yet they killed him in cold blood. And it should remind us that that we must pursue these people and bring them to justice before they hurt other Americans.
Johnson's family got the crushing news late this afternoon. They had pleaded with the Saudis and the Bush administration to give in to the terrorist demand that al-Qaeda prisoners in Saudi Arabia be released. NBC's Ron Allen is in Johnson's hometown of Tuckerton, New Jersey. Ron?
Campbell, Johnson's family remains in seclusion tonight, enduring the horror of his death privately, just as they spent a very painful week hoping and praying for good news that never came. Word of Johnson's execution hit hard in the New Jersey coastal town where he grew up, graduated high school, where some of his family still lives.
There's no reason to do it. You know, it doesn't prove anything. It's not helping anything.
The same militant website that showed Johnson blindfolded and bound announced his beheading, with 3 still photographs too graphic for broadcast. A statement condemned the engineer employed by defense contractor Lockheed Martin for his work on U.S. Apache helicopters. This infidel met his punishment, his killer said, to taste what some Muslims have been tasting who have for so long been grilled with the fire of Apaches. A reference to U.S. attacks in Iraq and Afghanistan. All week, Johnson's family had begged President Bush and the Saudi government to meet the captors' demand for Johnson's freedom, release al-Qaeda prisoners from the kingdom's jails.
Father's Day is right here. Bring my father home for Father's Day.
His wife in Saudi Arabia.
What can I do for him? I can do. Please, I want to see him come back to see me.
Here in a town where more than 100 people joined in a tearful candlelight vigil last night, some are beginning to arrive at a local church upon news of Johnson's death.
My heart goes out to the family. I just pray they have the strength and the courage to get through it.
Tonight, Johnson's employer, Lockheed Martin, released a statement saying, in part, his death shocks their entire corporate family. Here, a community will try to find an appropriate way to say goodbye to a lost neighbor and friend. Campbell?
NBC's Ron Allen tonight. Again, late word that the top al-Qaeda figure in Saudi Arabia, Abdulaziz al-Mukran, has been killed in a shootout. With late details on that, we go now to NBC's senior investigative correspondent, Lisa Myers. Lisa?
Campbell, the U.S. government confirms the death of the most wanted terrorist in Saudi Arabia. The death of al-Mukran is a huge victory for the Saudi government and a blow to al-Qaeda. He was considered one of the top young al-Qaeda commanders. Al-Qaeda's cell in Saudi Arabia signaled this new strategy in late March when its leader, Abdulaziz al-Mukran, posted this military handbook on the internet, urging terrorists to start targeting individuals and listing preferred human targets. Since May 1st, Johnson is one of 15 Westerners murdered or kidnapped and murdered. The last 3, including Robert Jacobs, were American military contractors. Many recent al-Qaeda killings are especially savage, throats being slit or beheadings.
I cannot imagine of a more terrifying, frightening image of someone getting executed by having their throat slit or their head decapitated. And the terrorists know this.
Ironically, al-Mukran, who was reportedly killed today, had been released from a Saudi jail shortly before 9/11 for, quote, good behavior. Today, U.S. intelligence called him one of the most ruthless, cold-blooded killers in al-Qaeda, and he had taken dead aim at the Saudi regime. In a chilling internet posting obtained by NBC News, a terrorist describes this recent rampage to a Saudi housing complex, murdering only non-Muslims. Quote, Brother Namir cut off his head and put it at the gate so that it would be seen by all those entering and exiting. All part of the strategy.
By throwing fear into their hearts, by executing them one by one if necessary, this is what will drive Westerners out of the Middle East.
The new tactics show al-Qaeda is adapting, hitting softer targets. And by targeting individual Westerners, there is less chance of alienating the Saudi population, which was upset when Muslims were killed in previous bombings. Lisa Myers, NBC News, Washington.
Americans, of course, continue to be targeted and killed in Iraq as well. At Arlington National Cemetery today, 5 soldiers who were killed together by an enemy bomb were buried together in a single casket. All 5 were part of the Army's 1st Engineer Battalion out of Fort Riley, Kansas. All were killed near Fallujah in March. And Fallujah is where U.S. officials suspect the mastermind of the recent wave of attacks on Americans is hiding out, trying to turn Iraq into a new center of Islamic terror with himself as the leader. Here's NBC's Jim Miklaszewski.
Abu Musab Zarqawi, the most wanted man in Iraq, accused of directing a relentless campaign of suicide bombings and personally beheading American Nick Burr. This week, President Bush said Zarqawi is also the terrorist link between Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden.
Zarqawi is the best evidence of connection to al-Qaeda affiliates and al-Qaeda.
But U.S. military officials tell NBC News, despite sporadic contacts in recent years, Zarqawi is now working against al-Qaeda in an effort to establish himself as the top Islamic terrorist in the region. Yesterday, Defense Secretary Rumsfeld suggested Zarqawi has had a falling out with bin Laden.
Maybe because he disagrees with him on something. Maybe because he wants to be the man himself.
U.S. officials say Zarqawi wants to take control of western Iraq to establish terrorist training camps and a base from which to launch terrorist attacks throughout the region, much like bin Laden used Afghanistan.
Zarqawi is trying to create his own identity separate from al-Qaeda. It is a myth that he was part of the al-Qaeda network. He has his own individual network inside Iraq, and he's trying to expand it.
Officials here say it's absolutely imperative Zarqawi be killed or captured, but the military's been totally frustrated. They think they know where Zarqawi is, they just can't get at him. It's believed Zarqawi is holed up in Fallujah, where U.S. Marines are still observing a ceasefire. But military officials tell NBC News the Marines were unaware that one of Zarqawi's top lieutenants actually took part in the ceasefire talks and apparently struck a deal with Iraqi security forces that gives Zarqawi and his terrorist followers sanctuary. The U.S. military is now working on plans to launch new raids into Fallujah, but there's no guarantee that even there they'll snag the elusive Zarqawi. Jim Miklaszewski, NBC News, the Pentagon.
For many American families who've lost loved ones in Iraq, this Father's Day will be a bitter reminder of the personal cost of war. But for one father, it is also a time to celebrate and salute a fallen hero. Here's NBC's Martin Savage.
At Fort Campbell, Kentucky, this week before Father's Day, it was a father who honored a son. For Jack Jenkins, it wasn't easy as his son's unit paraded by. That's because 25-year-old former Marine turned Army Sergeant Troy Jenkins won't be home this Father's Day or any other. Troy Jenkins was killed in Iraq when the war was still new and the casualties low.
4 names and too many.
The image of his family officially learning the horrible news made papers around the country 14 months ago.
To me, it's just like it happened yesterday.
For much of Troy's life, Jack Jenkins was a single parent. It was tough, and it wasn't forgotten by his son.
I have God, my dad, and my dignity.
He told his father so in letters home.
I'll suck it up and try to be a real man like my father.
At a memorial, the older Jenkins could only reach for his son's name carved in stone. But he does still hear his voice.
I don't know what it is, but, I can hear him every once in a while. Hey, Pop.
Troy's commanding officer presented a flag from his son's memorial service in Iraq. In its folds, the father found his son's dog tags.
You're never going to get over lost your son. No.
He was given something else, wrapped in a smaller bundle. 3 shell casings from the gun salute back in the desert. Small measures of comfort and precious gifts that will now have to last a lifetime of Father's Days. Martin Savage, NBC News, Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
And still ahead, NBC News in depth. We know who John Kerry is running against, but who will he run with? The search for number 2. And later, perhaps you've seen it, a charge on your phone bill to help schools get on the internet. But are you getting fleeced?
When you get nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, even diarrhea. Hey, there's Pepto-Bismol. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Yay, Pepto-Bismol!
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Yay, Pepto-Bismol!
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Yay, Pepto-Bismol!
Now you know, Pepto treats 5 different stomach problems. You see, pink does more than you think.
It's hard for people with diabetes to lose weight. My advice, exercise and try new Glucerna weight loss shakes made for people with diabetes. Clinically shown to help manage blood glucose while helping you lose weight. Delicious Glucerna weight loss shakes.
Only one power toothbrush brand is the most used and recommended by dental professionals. Sonicare Elite, with patented sonic technology and bristle tips that move 3 times faster for whiter teeth and healthier gums. Stop brushing. Start Sonicare.
We try to protect ourselves from the elements, from harm. And if you have diabetes, from temptation as well. And since diabetes puts you at high risk for heart attack and stroke, it's important to talk to your doctor about ways to help protect your heart. The Heart Protection Study by Oxford University researched Zocor. Zocor, along with diet, is the only cholesterol medication proven to significantly reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke in people with diabetes, regardless of cholesterol level. Zocor is a prescription medicine and is not for everyone, including women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant, or people with liver problems. Your doctor may do blood tests to check for liver problems. Because serious side effects can result, tell your doctor about any muscle pain or weakness you experience and about any medicines you are taking. If you have diabetes, get information about the Heart Protection Study and Zocor and ask your doctor how Zocor can help protect you. It's your future. Be there.
Dateline Friday, Ron Reagan. His controversial comments have people talking.
You made a very profound statement at the gravesite. Do you want to explain that more?
I think there's a lot of false piety floating around Washington.
Now, the son of the late president talks to Dateline. His first interview, tonight, 8/7 Central on NBC.
Sunday, investigating the 9/11 attacks. Should we have been better prepared? Commission members Lehman and Benveniste weigh in, only on Meet the Press.
NBC News in depth tonight. Political partners today together again. President Bush and Arizona Senator John McCain. Former campaign rivals appearing on the same stage today at Fort Lewis, Washington, the largest Army base on the West Coast. The president, McCain said, has led this country with moral clarity. McCain, a Republican, reportedly turned down Senator John Kerry's inquiries about becoming his running mate on the Democratic ticket. And today's joint appearance signals McCain's support for the Bush campaign. So with McCain out of the Kerry Veep stakes, who's in? NBC's Kelly O'Donnell on the short list.
The campaign's great unknown.
Mr. Senator, any sign of a running mate?
John Kerry's big secret. Who will get his VP nod?
I have not made a decision yet. And I'm the only person who knows when I will.
But the tea leaf reading is underway.
This is the first big decision, the most important decision that a nominee makes, and it says something. It's kind of a window into their soul.
While competing interests push their own favorites. Labor likes Missouri's Dick Gephardt.
There's nothing I want more in the world than for John Kerry to be the next president of the United States.
Democrats looking for Midwest sensibilities talk up Iowa Governor Tom Vilsack.
Anything having to do with the vice presidential discussions ought to come from the Kerry campaign.
As for Senator John Edwards,
I think Senator Kerry's choice for his vice president running mate is critical.
Some argue he could help Kerry win votes and other Democrats win in close Southern contests. Also in the mix, General Wes Clark and Florida Senator Bob Graham. Despite all the tight lips, senior Kerry aides will reveal details about the process, describing Kerry's method as prosecutorial, saying he tests candidates about how they would handle world events and their views on Mr. Bush's policies. Senior advisors say Kerry wants to avoid what he considers mistakes of the past, like not enough vetting. 1972, George McGovern was forced to drop Thomas Eagleton after his electric shock treatments were disclosed. 1984, Walter Mondale picked Geraldine Ferraro before her husband's finances were checked out. On style, aides suggest Kerry does not want a so-called co-president in the way critics describe Dick Cheney. But experts question whether the choice can turn an election.
There's this image out there that the vice presidency really makes a difference, really decides an election. And when you look throughout history and into the present day, it simply doesn't.
Aides say the fact that 9 vice presidents have had to take over the top job adds the weight of history to Kerry's much-anticipated decision. Kelly O'Donnell, NBC News, Washington.
And later on NBC Nightly News, remembering an American music legend, a tribute in song to the late, great Ray Charles.
Night. It's when most of the world sleeps. A time to reset our clock so we can begin a new day. It's all part of the rhythm of life. But for many, this healthy cycle is disrupted because sleep doesn't always come easy. Fortunately, there's Ambien. Ambien is a prescription sleep aid that can help you get a full night's sleep. While natural sleep is best, Ambien helps you fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and wake rested and refreshed, not groggy the next morning. No wonder Ambien is the #1 prescribed sleep aid in America. Until you know how Ambien will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Side effects may include drowsiness, dizziness, and diarrhea. You shouldn't take it with alcohol. All people taking sleep medicines have some risk of becoming dependent on the medicine. Prescription sleep aids are most often taken for 7 to 10 days as needed. Your doctor will advise you about taking them longer. In most instances, memory problems can be avoided if you take Ambien only when you're able to get 7 to 8 hours sleep before you need to be active again. Talk to your doctor about Ambien and wake rested and ready to start your day. Ambien works like a dream.
I've made some big calls in front of loud crowds and menacing linemen. I also made the call to go see my doctor and ask about Prevacid.
Call now for a 7-day free trial certificate and ask your doctor if prescription Prevacid is right for you.
Millions of us are hospitalized with heart-related chest pain or a certain type of heart attack, what doctors call ACS. The cause? For most, it was blood platelets that formed clots, which blocked blood from getting to the heart. Think aspirin and other heart medications alone are enough? Plavix could help make a difference. So ask your doctor about adding Plavix. Taken with aspirin and your current treatment, Plavix goes beyond what you're taking to help raise protection against heart attack or stroke. Plavix and your other medications work in different ways. Plavix taken with aspirin plays its own role in keeping blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots, which helps keep blood flowing.
If you have a medical condition that causes bleeding, such as a stomach ulcer, you shouldn't use Plavix. The risk of bleeding may increase with Plavix, and when you take Plavix with certain other medicines, including aspirin. Review your medicines with your doctor to minimize this risk. Additional rare but serious side effects could occur.
Add more protection against heart attack or stroke with Plavix.
Fight ravaging rain, scorching sun, and wind with Thompson's Water Seal Advanced. Special technology allows it to penetrate deep to seal out 99% of the water right from the start. Thompson's Water Seal Advanced, the most powerful water protection guaranteed. Now available at the Home Depot.
Financial services.
We're looking at only 3 points.
Reduction long-term receivables.
Luxurious Hyundai XG350L with America's best warranty. It's getting noticed in more ways than one.
And now our series, The Fleecing of America. Tonight, a federal program intended to supply needy school children with access to the internet. But where are your tax dollars really going? Here's NBC's Chip Reed.
This San Francisco elementary school is part of a national success story.
What do we put at the end of the greeting in a letter?
Today, more than 9 of every 10 public schools are connected to the internet. 7 years ago, it was only 1 in 4.
Okay, I'm in my 4th program.
The improvement is due in large part to a federal program known as E-Rate, which has put millions of children online, mostly in poor and rural schools.
Yeah. Okay.
But for all the good E-Rate has done, the more than $2 billion a year that flows into the program from a tax on your phone bill has become a magnet for waste, fraud, and abuse.
Unfortunately, there are people out there who see this as an opportunity to line their own pockets.
Arlene Ackerman, San Francisco school superintendent, blew the whistle on a computer company after it persuaded school officials to spend millions on unneeded equipment.
They were trying to sell us, a Cadillac hardware and infrastructure, and what we needed was a Chevrolet.
Congressional investigators say the E-Rate program is loaded with that kind of gold plating. They also found bid rigging and overcharging to be routine.
I think it's fair to say that we've thrown hundreds of millions of dollars down the drain.
In Puerto Rico, Congressman Greenwood's investigators found $23 million in computer gear bought 5 years ago with E-Rate money, still in its wrappers and now obsolete.
I think federal bureaucrats at the FCC have been asleep at the switch. I think school district officials have been horribly unaccountable, and I think contractors have taken them to the cleaners.
The E-Rate scandal has spawned dozens of criminal investigations of computer companies and school districts. The agency that administers E-Rate says it welcomes inquiries targeted at what it says are a few bad actors.
We support those investigations, and we will do whatever is necessary to make sure that the program maintains a high standard of integrity.
Even most critics of E-Rate say the solution is not to eliminate a well-intentioned program, but to hire enough federal auditors to ensure accountability. And to ensure that E-Rate money goes to the children, and not to a fleecing of America. Chip Reed, NBC News, Washington.
On Wall Street today, stocks edged slightly higher. The Dow was up just under 39 points. The Nasdaq was up 3 points on the day. And for the week, a mixed finish. The Dow was up over 6 points. The Nasdaq was down just over 13 points for the week. We're back with more after this.
The allergy season's in full force. Most OTC allergy medicines may not last as long as you want. Not Benadryl allergy, not Chlortrimeton 4-hour, not Tylenol severe allergy. But just 1 dose of once daily Allegra lasts up to 4 times longer than 1 dose of most OTC allergy medicines for people 12 and over. Side effects are low and may include headache, cold, or backache. Don't let another allergy day go by without Allegra. Because who knows how long this allergy season will last. Long-lasting Allegra. The relief goes on.
When choosing a Medicare-approved drug discount card, what's right for one person isn't always what's right for the next. So how do you know which one will save you the most? Call 1-800-MEDICARE. We'll compare cards for you based on your needs. You'll be able to choose the card that's right for you. Call 1-800-MEDICARE now to help you compare.
I hear something. Thump, thump, thump.
That's my heart talking to you.
Does it ever say anything else?
If you want to keep your heart healthy, keep your cholesterol down, Cheerios, made from all natural whole grain oats, is the only leading cold cereal clinically proven to lower cholesterol.
I hear corp, corp.
That's my stomach.
Your stomach talks too?
Mm-hmm.
I love what I do. I love the people I work for, and I love the company I work for. I've had some great mentors in the past. I had one general manager that was just real significant in my career, making sure that I finished college and went on to do more. I started off as a part-time cashier at a Sam's Club, and now I'm the vice president over the stationery department at Walmart. There's so much at Walmart that you can do. I want to continue my career, and I want to continue growing. It started out as a job for me, but it ended up being an amazing career. My name is Teresa, and I've been with Walmart for 18 years.
Cheese-It. Get your own box. And catch Spider-Man 2 in theaters June 30th.
Tonight at 6 on Channel 4 News.
Local reaction to the brutal execution of an American hostage in Saudi Arabia. Plus, a young athlete beats the odds and bounces back after heat stroke. And we'll take a look at the plans for the old thermal plant.
Tonight at 6 on Channel 4 News.
In Los Angeles today, thousands, including some very big names, turned out to say farewell to music legend Ray Charles. The 73-year-old rhythm and blues great died of liver failure last week, and this morning, friends and family came to honor his memory as he would have wanted, with music and prayer.
I'm the son of Ray Charles Robinson Sr. If you would do something for my family today, why don't you stand on your feet and give God some praise? Because we're here to celebrate God today and thank God for this man.
Ray Charles, who says, I don't feel sorry for people who don't see. I feel sorry for people who can't hear. Because when you can't hear music.
Oh, Georgia. Georgia, a song of you.
I never in my life imagined that I would write a song that Ray Charles would sing.
God has been so good to me, yeah. He's been so good to me, yeah.
And anything he touched was just brilliant.
Oh, beautiful, for heroes proved in liberating strife.
To my brother Ray, I'd try anything. And if you should die before I do, I'll end my life to be with you.
There will never be another. Through his darkness, he enlightened and brightened our lives.
Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue.
The Ray Charles tribute today in Los Angeles. That's Nightly News for this Friday. I'm Campbell Brown. I'll see you tomorrow morning on Today. Have a good night.
Oh, beautiful, far spacious skies.
Nightly News is a presentation of NBC News. More Americans watch NBC News than any other news organization in the world.
Tonight, bound and blindfolded, now beheaded. The latest on the tragic death of an American held hostage. Millions of tiny pests terrorize a Williamson County neighborhood. And a young woman nearly dies from heat stroke. Hear her story of survival.
Middle Tennessee's #1 news starts right now.
Good evening. Welcome to Channel 4 News at 6. I'm Bill Robertson. Dan is off tonight.
An American hostage has been murdered by Saudi militants who claim to belong to al-Qaeda. Paul Johnson was kidnapped over the weekend. His attackers paraded him for cameras, bound and gagged, finally beheading him when their demands weren't met. Johnson's body was found just a few hours ago. Channel 4's Tracy Haynes is live with reaction from folks here in Nashville. Tracy?
Dimitri, it's hard to find anyone who's not absolutely appalled by Paul Johnson's death. This afternoon I spoke with some members of Nashville's Muslim community. News of Paul Johnson's death is the talk of the day at Nashville's Islamic Center. A man we met says